welcome to a new video. Today I'm taking the Honda Trail 125 for a ride. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. My intention is to go through the Parklands area in Louisville. So it's a series of interconnected parks. There's Turkey Run Park and Broad Run Park. And then if you go via the paths, you can also go back to Pope Lick Park, and then Beckley Creek Park. So it's a bunch of interconnected parks that if you're on a bicycle or on foot, you can take a path through all of them. If you're in a car, you can drive to them as well, but some of the parks aren't quite so close via car or motorcycle, in my case today. But I figured this would be a nice scenic little trip with the Honda Trail, just to take it for a ride, see how this goes. It's a nice, beautiful day with the high in the high 70s, low 80s. It's kind of partly cloudy out, but still a lot of sun. So I figured I would take this Honda Trail 125 through here, because I think this is the kind of trip where this bike would excel. Now this is public parkland, it's public parks, so I'm not going to take this bike off-road because, as far as I'm aware, there's nowhere through these parks that is off-road for motorized vehicles. So don't want to do that, but I'm just going to, ride it through and get a nice scenic ride in here. And again, in Louisville, Kentucky, this is more on the outskirts, more on the a little bit more rural, less developed side. I took Bardstown Road all the way down to get here, and then you turn off and you come through the side streets to get back here. But so from the main section of Bardstown Road, where all the restaurants and bars and stuff are, you're about 20 to 30 minutes away. So not a super long ride. And this Trail 125 just broke 100 miles, so now it's at 102 miles. So it doesn't have many miles on it yet. Hasn't, gone through the break-in period really, because the break-in period's supposed to be 600 miles, after which you get your first oil change. So I'm still a bit away from that. But I figure this is a nice, nice area with scenery that's worth checking out. I've gone through here before on rides. I know I had taken a Honda Navi through here before. Taken, I think, an electric scooter or an e-bike through here, but this is riding through on a motorcycle. If you want to consider the Trail 125 a motorcycle, I think legally it is. It has a shifter, but it's automatic, so you just shift up or down. You don't have a clutch. So, that's a little bit different. It's a 125, so a 125cc motor. Top speed, I think, is, 55 or a little bit over. I haven't actually taken it up to that speed yet because I'm still kind of in the break-in period, like I said, so I'm taking it a little bit easy. It is a little bit faster than Navi. The comparable bikes to this out of Honda's lineup, they have the minimotos, where there's the Navi, there's this Trail 125, the Monkey, which I think will be faster because it's a traditional 5-speed transmission, and the same motor, so that one will be a little bit faster. Then they also have the Super Cub, which is, I actually don't remember what kind of shifter it has. I'd never really looked into that one too much. Now this right here, this is a very steep incline. The camera may not do it justice. Pretty steep here. I should have downshifted at the beginning of that. Yeah, I was going. It's 4 speeds, so I went up in 4th, and then it started getting down to the range where I probably should have downshifted. So, lesson learned if I come through here again. That was a pretty steep hill. So, you know, one thing with this Navi, if you're going up a lot of, or not Navi, with this trail bike, or the Navi, any of the Honda minimotos, if you're going up a lot of steep hills, I would not expect to be able to do full speed. And then depending on how steep it gets, depends on how low that top speed you can reach goes. But I think if I have to go back up that hill, I would probably downshift into 3rd, probably. I don't think I've actually gone up the hill that steep on this thing yet. But there's somebody's got some chickens and stuff. I guess there's a wedding going on today, because the Parklands are an area where I believe there are a number of parts of it that you can reserve for events. So weddings, birthdays, you know, whatever. And yeah, I forgot to mention I have the 2 cameras, which I probably have already switched back and forth between. The front-facing camera is an Insta360 Ace Pro, and then the rear-facing camera is an Insta360 Go 3. And the Go 3 is just a small camera, so it's easy to snap on the back of the backpack that I've got on and get that rear-facing footage without having to do a super complicated setup. And audio-wise, you know, I recorded one video already on this trail bike, and the mistake that I made was I have a few different wireless microphones. So I have the DJI mics. It's a kit that has 2 little wireless mics and a receiver, and they also have internal storage built in where you can record to that internal storage. Well, I did that last time, but it's just standard recording, and since the mic in this helmet setup I have is a little bit closer to my mouth, it was all kind of blown out. And I realized that in editing that there's a lot of clipping and it didn't sound great. So instead, I also have a DJI Pocket 3, which is a camera that I would not take on a bike because it doesn't really have a good form factor for that. But it has a wireless mic, a DJI wireless mic as well, that has built-in storage. The difference is it has 32-bit float, which allows you to it's, you know, for audio, it's basically what RAW is when you're taking photos, where it, you know, you should be able to go into the editing and clean it up with no clipping, regardless of how loud it gets. So I'm doing that now, so hopefully the audio for this will be a little bit better than the last time. Bothered me when there's obviously clipping. You know, I did what I could with it in the editing, but, you know, when it's clipped, you can't really do anything. So hopefully this mic setup will do a bit better. And it should also have not much wind noise, because inside this helmet it's actually pretty quiet. I have a Ruroc Atlas 4 helmet. Now I might take, it depends on what the audio sounds like from my from either the rear-facing camera or the Ace Pro. I might splice in a little bit of audio from those if there isn't a tremendous amount of wind noise. to have a little bit more ambient nature sound of what it sounds like when you're out here. Because when it's super, super quiet, the only thing you can hear is my voice. That can be a little bit annoying. So now I'm going through Broad Run Park. So the area I started out with, I went through Turkey Run Park. I went through there, and then there's different areas. Like there was an area that was sectioned off for a wedding, which was the Silo Center, which is where, you know, it's a cycling center where there's a silo you can go up and get a view out over the surrounding area. And then they have areas there, I guess, you can rent for weddings or events, so it was closed off. And then if you keep going, you'll hit that stop sign like I did a minute ago, and then you can cross over into Broad Run Park, which is where I am now. And this is, you know, just another part of the Parklands. So there's multiple parks out here. If you have a bike that you want to go for a relatively long, uninterrupted ride where you don't have to stop at a lot of stop signs and deal with traffic, you can come up here. And you can go for multiple miles. Like I said, it'll go to Broad Run Park, and then Turkey Run Park. The path will take you back to Pope Lick Park, and then you can go from there to Beckley Creek Park. So it's a very long track for running or walking or cycling. The only thing you have to be aware of if you're cycling is there will be children, probably. Children on bikes with training wheels or little kick scooters, not paying attention. So you don't have to deal with traffic for the most part, but you do have to worry about that. So if you're wanting to hit your all-time best record speed, you have to be cognizant of there are sections where there will be kids and things that cause you to slow down and stop. But, you know, much better than going through surface streets. You just have to drive out here. And then there are multiple parking lots you can turn off into through here to go to the different walking paths and to go to different hiking trails and what have you. So it's a very nice place to get a walk in or a run or, you know, to cycle. And again, it's kind of interesting that you can get to this area that feels pretty rural, even though you're still pretty close to the city, which is pretty nice because, you know, Louisville does have some decent parks like Cherokee Park and Iroquois Park that you can go to, but this, you know, obviously is much larger and again gives you more of the feeling of being in an isolated rural area, if that's what you're looking for. And there's these paths that cross the street, so I'm just making sure each of these that there's nobody crossing. But yeah, this is a place that will be really fun to go through, you know, on rides, especially if you have somebody to go with you. Again, like I said, there's pretty steep hills, so I wouldn't expect, you know, to race through on this bike or these other small ones. See, I think, was it the Grom is another Honda. I don't know if that's still considered a minimoto or not. I think it's, you know, quite a bit faster than this bike. And especially with the mod scene, you can modify the Groms out. I mean, there are... Oh, there's a turtle. Okay, let's sit here so nobody runs it over. Keep going, turtle. Okay, the turtle crossed the road. I'm sure this car behind me thinks I'm crazy. I just wanted to see that the turtle didn't get smushed. But yeah, the Now, if there were trails through here, this would be an amazing spot. As far as I'm aware, there are not any trails for motorized gas vehicles. Again, you can take like an e-bike up here, but I wouldn't take anything that's gas motor through. And then this is Broad Run Park. So I guess I can, this is pretty much, well, I guess I can keep going. I think there's somewhere to turn around up ahead. But, you know, the Parklands is a very cool layout. Now, throughout the entirety of the park, I believe the speed limit for cars is 25 miles per hour. People are probably not going to want to do that, for the most part. But that's what I'm doing right now. And then if you know, keep going, Broad Run Park, this eventually runs into Bardstown Road. It's just way down Bardstown Road. There's a lot of open field. I think, I'm trying to remember what all's down through here. So I usually don't go all the way through, but yeah, but this would be a very nice place to bring your family through, you know, to go for a walk or bike ride or something. Like I said, if you're at Turkey Run Park, the path itself will keep going, and it'll, if you cross over like the stream and the road and stuff, it'll keep going back to Pope Lick Park, and then you go from there to Beckley Creek Park, where there's soccer fields and stuff there. So there's a lot of room if you want to go on a bike ride or a run or something. I think I'm going to have to turn around here because this is nearing the end of the road, and I don't want to go out to Bardstown Road. So I'll loop back around and I'll get off the bike. But yeah, this is it's a nice ride because I do enjoy being able to get out of just suburban neighborhoods and actually get a little bit of nature in my life. So being able to ride not too far and get down to somewhere like here is always very nice. There's just so much open space and stuff through here. My girlfriend and I will come here and go on walks and stuff like that, or hikes. And then the other part of the Parklands, like I said, there's it goes through to like Pope Lick Park. So if you've ever heard of the urban legend of the Pope Lick Goatman, so there's a train bridge, train trestle that apparently has a goatman that haunts it or whatever. So you can go through there and go under the bridge, and then go to some of the other parks. So, you know, there's a lot of variety in what you're able to see. And then, I've never gone through here at nighttime because I have to check the stuff, but they close at nighttime, and I believe the way this is set up, they're able to actually close the gates so you can't get back out if you stay in too late. So I would not go through at nighttime, or I don't know how you could go through at nighttime, because as you can see here, there's the thing where they can run a chain across when it's nighttime. Well, I guess I can do a very small amount off-road because it says additional parking, so I can go over here to the additional parking area and ride through. So this is not out of line. Because this is technically additional parking, so I think this is fine. So that was a very tiny amount of taking this off-road and trying not to break any rules here. Yeah, so I'll just park here real quick and do a quick walk around the bike. Okay, so this is the Honda Trail 125. I put a little storage tote bag on the back here that just straps down to the storage rack so I can put stuff there. Don't have to carry everything in my pockets or a jacket or something or the backpack. And this is the other side where the muffler is, the exhaust that comes out. And, your standard equipment, the brake lever, Kickstarter, which I haven't actually tried to use, and something that I've mentioned, it has a heel-toe shifter. So on the bike, this is the shifter you use to shift down, and then you use your heel to shift on this one to shift up, and that's how you would shift the bike. But yeah, so that was taking the Honda Trail 125 for a ride through the Parklands in Louisville, Kentucky. But yeah, until next time.